I'm a really big fan of absurdist humor and just over the top ridiculousness in books. A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, which won a Pulitzer Prize, is my favorite book of all time. Once I read it for the fifth or sixth time, I'll do a book review of it. But until then, let's talk about a contender for one of my favorite books of all time, Willful Child by Steven Erikson. This book brought me so much joy. It is so funny. I just couldn't believe it. You get everything that is amazing about Erikson's writing, and you get his fantastic humor that you kind of get tidbits of all throughout Malazan. Well, here you get hit in the face with it. It's turned to 11, and it's so amazing. And you get like social commentary, and you get him just making fun of different science fiction tropes. This feels like his love letter to Star Trek and the science fiction genre, but the love letter is him making fun of it, just showing how deep of an understanding he has for the genre by making something absolutely absurd. Like, as you can tell, I keep grinning during this. It's just so funny. And listen to this blurb on the back. Steven Erikson is an extraordinary writer. My advice to anyone who might listen to me is treat yourself. Stephen R. Donaldson. Stephen R. Donaldson is telling you to read this? This is a treat. I had a really rough January. I've been sick pretty much the entire month. And I was pretty bummed, and I was in a huge reading slump. That started getting better. But man, I listened to this book, and it made my week. I'm pretty sure it made my month. It's just so good. It put me in such an amazing mood. I was just overjoyed with it. There are times when you're reading this, it almost feels like you can hear Erikson chuckling about it because some of it is just so ridiculous. Like, he knew what he was doing when he wrote it. He has talked about one of the reasons why he wrote this book was in response to Star Trek: The Next Generation. Because The Next Generation is so uptight. Like, they're no longer fighting aliens on planets that look like Northern California. And it's just all, it's a little over proper. Like, it's lost the ridiculous aspects of the original Star Trek series. What this feels like is someone took Captain Kirk and put him on the Next Generation's Enterprise. You've got all these people following regulations and stuff, and he's like, I'm going to break my hand for the fourth time punching a monster, and that kind of thing. It's just so ridiculous. I think a big part of my joy of reading this is just how well my sense of humor gels with Erikson's sense of humor, because, oh my God, I was literally laughing out loud and grinning like an idiot while I was listening to this at work, because I listened to the audiobook, which is absolutely fantastic. The narrator takes this already wonderful book and just brings it to another level. So definitely check it out on audiobook. This book made me so happy. I just couldn't believe how happy it made me. I'd love to hear Erikson sometime just talk about this book and just like why he wrote it, what finally got him to do it. I think one of the funniest things is in the beginning, the acknowledgments. Special thanks to my blindsided advanced readers, Dr. A.P. Canavan, Dr. Sharon Sasaki, and Baria Ahmed. Like, the fact that he said my blindsided advanced readers, I really hope that he just like sent this to one of them and didn't tell them like what it was about, because I would love for whoever that happened to just open it and just be like, what? I think he did such an amazing job of just running the knife edge of absolute ridiculousness and humor without falling too far to the absurd that just makes like a mockery of the genre. Like, this is definitely a love letter to science fiction. The main character, Captain Hadrian Sawback, he is such a creep and just so over the top. Like, it really is like all of Captain Kirk's like best and worst traits just cranked up. You even have like the Spock equivalent in the book. He's like a nihilist that comes from a long line of truckers. So it's just absolutely hilarious. Every single character in here is just so well fleshed out and just amazing. And the way they interact with Captain Hadrian, it's just so good. There's like a really good scene early on where Hadrian has like an artificial intelligence hologram of himself that he's using to talk to like his boss, so he doesn't have to do it. And it's so funny because after the little session, he's talking to the hologram, and the hologram's like, what do you have to worry about? The firewall between me and the ship systems is impenetrable. And Hadrian's like, wait, how would you know that? And so like the AI was trying to like hack his way into the system. And so Hadrian's like, well, better delete that. And like, that won't come back to bite him in the ass at all. And it's just so funny. There's just so many little moments like that. So many quips and one-liners. I highly recommend this book to pretty much anyone. Like if you love Erikson, you got to give this a try. If you love science fiction, you really need to give this a try. If you're a Star Trek fan, you should have already read this. And if you've already read it and you're a Star Trek fan, go ahead and read it again. I just absolutely love it. I think that this is going to be the new book that I default to anytime I'm in a slump or I don't feel very good or I'm kind of bummed out, because this thing just left me completely overjoyed. Like I'm still riding the high. It's been like almost a week since I finished it. I cannot recommend it enough. Let me know in the comments if any of you have read it. I'd love to share some one-liners with you because they're just absolutely amazing. Some of them I don't want to say on YouTube. So we'll start with that. And also they're just so good, I don't want to ruin them for anyone. So yeah, let me know if you've read it. Let me know if you're interested in reading it. I'd love to talk to you about it. And with that, I'll see you next time.